What's up, innovators? In this lesson, you'll be able to restate your thesis for your conclusion paragraph. Woohoo! Nearing towards the end. So far in this process, you started by writing your body paragraphs and all the components that go with it, and then you went to write your introduction paragraph. Last but not least, we're working on our conclusion. So now we're in this area. When we restate a thesis, it goes into our conclusion paragraph. So, to restate a thesis means to remind your reader of the thesis, but say it in a different way. What is a thesis statement again, and what does it do? What is a thesis statement? Well, a thesis statement, remember, a thesis statement provides the main idea. So why do you have to remind your reader? Why? You already said it. Well, the answer is you've informed them of a lot. You've written a whole bunch of paragraphs and you've taught them all about migration. It's getting to be lengthy. So a conclusion paragraph is meant to let your reader know the essay is ending. It's coming to a close. And you let them know that by summarizing some main points. And one of those main points, or actually the biggest point, is your thesis statement. So you might be wondering, why can't I just repeat the thesis in the same way? I said it once, it was great, I got an A, why can't I just repeat it? Well, that's boring, very, very boring. You don't want to repeat yourself. You don't like to read a book that repeats itself, so you don't make your reader go through that as well. So we're going to restate it. There's 4 really simple steps. Number 1, read your thesis. You have a great thesis, read it. Number 2, in that thesis, identify any key words or phrases. So a keyword or those phrases, in this case, are probably your reasons for migration. That's going to be a key phrase, your reasons for migration. Number 3, with those keywords and phrases, come up with some synonyms or some ways to describe those keywords. Okay? You can use different sources like a thesaurus or a dictionary. Step 4, rewrite the thesis, just replacing those keywords with new words, the new synonyms, okay? So here's some examples, and now I'm going to model. In my first few lessons, I modeled how to write a thesis, and it was something like this. People migrate when genies give them 3 wishes or to escape undesirable situations. So I followed the steps. I just read it. Now I'm going to identify keywords or phrases. I already did that. So I highlighted some key phrases in color. The first key phrase is genies gives them 3 wishes, which coincidentally is a reason why people migrate. Second key phrase is undesirable situations. Okay, so I've identified them. You can color code it if you want, but you don't have to. Next, come up with synonyms of those keywords or ways to describe those keywords. And I've already done that. So I think about, well, what does it mean when genies give them 3 wishes? Genies, that's magic. So I decided to rephrase that. And I started my sentence with magical circumstances, which genies is an example of magical circumstances. Go on. Magical circumstances can happen that encourage people to migrate, period. People may also choose or be forced to migrate after having bad experiences. And the phrase having bad experiences has the same meaning as the phrase undesirable situation. Undesirable equals bad. Situations, same thing as experiences. So now let's demonstrate how to do this live. Remember my other example about PB&J sandwiches. I have a thesis statement. To make a PB&J sandwich, you first procure the ingredients, find the proper utensils, then spread. Okay? So I'm going to just do these 3 steps. I'm going to find some key phrases. So procure the ingredients. It's one of those steps to making a PB&J sandwich. So I'm going to identify that. Find the proper utensils. That's another key phrase, which also happens to be another way to make a PB&J sandwich. And then lastly, spread. That's another key phrase. So I'm just going to find some synonyms or some phrases. Okay, I can also rearrange these words. I can say a PB and J sandwich is or can be made with 3 easy steps. First, so what's another way to say procure the ingredients? Well, if you don't know what procure is, let's look it up. I'm going to go to thesaurus.com and you can absolutely do this anytime. I'm going to type in the word procure. I'm looking for synonyms here. It's giving me some synonyms. Well, procure ingredients. Okay, get, grab. These are words that I use in my everyday language. I'm not going to choose annex because I don't use that word. So get or grab. Okay, first, grab the, well, what's another way to say ingredients? I don't want to repeat that word. What's another way to say ingredients? I'm looking it up. I'm looking for synonyms. Fixings. That's a word that I use sometimes to talk about food. So grab the fixings, comma, then, okay, now I'm moving on to find the proper utensils. Well, I know off the top of my head another word for find. It means gather, then gather the proper or appropriate, same thing as proper, utensils. Utensils are like spoons, knife. I'll say supplies, because utensils and supplies are the same. And then spread. I think I'll go back to the thesaurus and look for a synonym for spread. And then, these are big words and I don't really use these words. So maybe instead of getting a synonym, I will describe the keyword. So how would I describe the word spread? And lastly, place the ingredients, or lastly, put the ingredients together, which is essentially the same thing as spreading. So there you have it. Original thesis, finding keywords or phrases, using a thesaurus or my own prior knowledge to describe or replace those words, and here's my thesis restated. Last but not least, 4 simple criteria for success. Number 1, your restated thesis is still a thesis, so it should still capture the main idea of the essay. Do not go off topic. Do not, I'm going to add one. Do not add any new information. You do not want to add any more new information in a conclusion. You're done. CFS 3. Remember, different words than in your original thesis. Don't be boring. And step 4, keep the same meaning, same as the original thesis. And just like our thesis criteria for success, 1 to 2 sentences remain. And there you have it. All right, so let's go ahead and meet with our partner. Don't forget you need notes on this criteria for success and also on these steps. All right, good luck.